There's no doubt that the best keyboards are mechanical keyboards, but which is best for you? We've rounded up 7 of our favorite gaming keyboards we've tested recently, and put together this buying guide to help you make your choice. One of the most confusing elements of a mechanical keyboard are the color-coded cherry switches, which you'll find on most brands. There are a few exceptions, however. Some keyboard manufacturers, such as Razer and Logitech, have their own custom mechanical switches. Mechanical switches are very different to the switches you'll find on cheaper keyboards. They provide much better feedback and a more satisfying action. They're not for everybody, though, so it's worth trying before you buy. Cherry manufactures 6 distinct types of MX keyboard switch, named after colors. Blue and green switches are similar. Blue switches give a tactile click the moment the button becomes activated, meaning you get instant feedback for every keystroke, which is very satisfying. Green switches are similar, but require more force than the blue switches to activate. These are fantastic for typing but exceptionally loud, so if you're in a shared workspace, or having thin walls, then they're best avoided. 1. Logitech G413. The Logitech G413 is the best £100 keyboard we've reviewed. It ticks all the boxes for a keyboard that's going to be used for both work and play, and its attractive design means it won't look out of place in a more subtle desk setup. The full-size board uses Logitech's Roamer G switches. No, they're not Cherry MX, but we're starting to be won over by their mix of tactile feedback but relatively quiet performance. There's a USB pass-through for peripherals, which isn't always a given at this price, and Logitech's gaming software is fairly basic but gets the job done as far as macros go. All in all, Logitech's latest mid-range gamer is a mighty success. 2. SteelSeries Apex M500. The SteelSeries Apex M500 is one of the more basic mechanical keyboards around, but it does its job well and looks great. It includes proper Cherry MX switches, a robust design and stylish blue backlighting, along with excellent customization software. It doesn't have a pass-through or any of the macro keys you'd get from more advanced keyboards, which is something to take into account if you value gaming-specific extras. You don't have to spend too much more to find yourself at one of the other keyboards on this list, but if you don't care about extra features, there's not much point in spending an awful lot more. 3. HyperX Alloy FPS. The Alloy FPS is HyperX's first attempt at a gaming keyboard, and it's a solid first effort. There's no denying it's a basic keyboard, but there's a lot to like. The nearly bezel-less design means it won't take up much space on your desk while still making room for a number pad. Elsewhere, it's a fairly basic keyboard with single-color red key backlighting and no extra buttons for macros or media. The braided USB cable is removable and it comes with a drawstring bag for easy LAN party transportation. There's also a USB port from which you can charge devices, such as a smartphone. You get spare keycaps in the box for the WASD and 1, 2, 3, 4 keys for extra grip when gaming. It's mostly superficial, but it looks good. 4. Cougar 700K. Cougar 700K is ridiculously cheap for what it offers. For £109 or less you get Cherry MX switches. Red seems to be the switch most frequently available, multimedia keys and extra buttons for your gaming macros. There are downsides, however. Its angular design will divide opinion and its orange backlighting can't be changed, although it can, of course, be switched off. Another interesting design choice is the split spacebar key, one half of which acts as you'd expect while the other can be assigned to an alternative macro function, such as a double jump or something completely different. This makes it rather strange to type on but very customizable for gamers. 5. Corsair Vengeance K70. Corsair's gorgeous, brushed metal keyboard comes in Cherry MX red, brown or blue switches. It's fully backlit, albeit with only red LEDs. It comes with a set of contoured keys for the commonly used WASD and 1 to 6 number keys, which makes them easier to find in the heat of battle. Note that the keyboard doesn't come with any extra macro keys, which may limit its appeal to game players who rely on shortcuts /. Although dirt and dust will be more of an issue as a result, those who take good care of their keyboard will be rewarded with great performance and shiny looks. 6. Asus ROG Claymore. As we move into the luxury section of our roundup, the Asus ROG Claymore is an essential entry here. It's a beautiful thing, with a robust plastic and metal build, lack of bezel around the edge and fancy RGB lighting that can sync up with Asus Aura motherboards and graphics cards. There are some features missing, including both a wrist rest and USB pass-through, which are surprising omissions given the price. There's a wide variety of Cherry MX switches available, so gamers of all stripes should at least consider the Claymore. 7. Corsair K95 RGB Platinum. Corsair's K95 Platinum is the most over-the-top gaming keyboard we've ever seen. Seemingly not satisfied with being the king of RGB, Corsair has added what it calls Light Edge, an RGB strip, to the top edge of the keyboard, so you can completely satiate your mighty appetite for glowy lights. Some of the trusted office actually quite like it, but if you don't, you can turn it off. The rest is standard Corsair excellence. The base is sturdy, there's a USB pass-through and a comfortable wrist rest, and it's all powered by Cherry MX Speed key switches, which have the most responsive action of any key switch we've seen. It's monstrously expensive.